Welcome to LMU Community TV News. I'm Allison Barnett. Thanks for joining us. Let's take a look at the stories we have for you today. The day got off to a shaky start for some residents in East Tennessee. The Claiborne County Office of Emergency Management reports that 2 small earthquakes were reported in Meigs County early Wednesday morning. The first quake hit around 4:15 a.m. with a magnitude of 4.4. A second 3.3 magnitude quake hit just 20 minutes later. Several residents in Claiborne County and Bell County, Kentucky reported feeling the earthquake, with some stating that it shook their entire house. No damage has been reported. Authorities in Lee County, Virginia need your help finding a disabled man last seen on December 5th. WCYB reports that 19-year-old Logan Andrew Taylor was dropped off at a park in Ewing by his mother. He told his mom he would be staying in a cave. The mother said he had done this before and always came out in a day or two. Police say Taylor is 6'4" and weighs 230 pounds. He has brown hair and was last seen wearing a gray Nike hoodie, jeans, and tennis shoes. Anyone with information should call the Lee County Sheriff's Office at 276-346-7777. A Middlesboro man is behind bars after police say he was carrying methamphetamine. 24-year-old Sean Hatfield was charged with first-degree possession of a controlled substance and possession of drug paraphernalia Tuesday morning. Middlesboro police say officers were dispatched to a home in Beans Fork. A caller told police that Hatfield was at his residence with narcotics. When police arrived, the owner of the home gave consent to search. Officers found the clear bag with a crystal-like substance inside and syringes. Hatfield is being held at the Bell County Detention Center. The Stand in the Gap Coalition officially opened the doors to their new office in Tazewell. The organization held a formal open house on Friday. The coalition used the occasion to showcase the new building and explain the importance of the organization. Stand in the Gap was recently designated as a prevention coalition for Claiborne County. Here to talk more about the Stand in the Gap's new designation is Dan Spurlock.
One aspect is the state, and these are all state dictated for this grant. They want to focus to improve health in the community, to improve health and quality of life, and just also basically an overall social mentality in the county towards 3 things. Number 1 is, believe it or not, and you might even be shaking your head when you hear this, but the state has still a concern for binge drinking with kids between the ages of 14 and 18. And so they want us to promote through the county, through these different community organizations, whether it's the school system, the health department, law enforcement, that there's real difficulties come from something that kids, all of us probably maybe at one time or another thought that was not a great big deal, okay? But people wind up getting hurt and even killed because of that activity. So that's one focus, binge drinking. The number 2 focus, which also might strike you as unusual. I don't know how long you've lived around Claiborne County, but the second focus is tobacco use, okay? And especially tobacco use with underage people, because in Tennessee, under the age of 18, you're not to be sold tobacco products. Well, in Claiborne County, a lot of people say, what are you talking about? Tobacco is as normal as drinking a Pepsi Cola, you know what I mean? But what the state, once again, the state wants to focus on, we want to change a mental awareness toward and get people to see that if you can steer kids away from tobacco use at an early age, they're much less likely to be involved in other addictive processes as they get older. Because tobacco, without a doubt, there's just no doubt about it, nicotine is an addictive process. And then item number 3 was the use of prescription medications across all age groups within the county that are basically unauthorized and not per doctor's orders.
Stand in the Gap continues to search for partners in their fight against drugs. Now let's take a look at your community calendar of events coming up over the next couple of weeks. Claiborne High School will be hosting a fine arts evening on Christmas celebration on Friday, December 14th in the high school's multi-purpose room. The art show begins at 5 p.m. and the concert will begin at 7 p.m. Admission is free and is open to the community. A silent auction of student artwork will also be occurring during the event. That was a look at your community calendar. We're now moving on to your LMU Community TV News 5-day weather forecast. Thursday morning will be cloudy with a high of 37 and a 5% chance of rain. As the day progresses, the temperature will rise to 45 and the clouds will stay in the area. Looking at your 3-day planner, Friday will have a 90% chance of rain along with some thunder and the high will be 50 degrees. Saturday will have a 50% chance of showers with a high of 54 degrees. Moving to your 5-day, Sunday will be cloudy with a high of 50 and Monday will also be cloudy with a high of 50 degrees. Now, it's a quick preview of your 5-day forecast, but stay with us. As coming up after the break, Brandon Burke will be bringing you your sports report right here on LMU Community TV News.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shields, and I'm a physician and the medical director at LMU Medical Clinics. This is a brief announcement about keeping LMU and you healthy during the upcoming flu season. Influenza, or flu for short, is a virus that causes fever, body aches, and upper respiratory symptoms like cough, runny nose, and sore throat. It is transmitted through the air and can even be spread on objects touched by someone who has the flu. The virus spreads easily from person to person and is most active from October through March. There are 3 things you can do to prevent becoming ill with the flu. First, get vaccinated. The most effective way of preventing the flu is to get the flu vaccine every year. The vaccine does not give you the flu or make you sick. The vaccine may not be 100% effective, however, it does offer significant protection and lessen the symptoms should you get the flu. The CDC recommends everyone 6 months and older be vaccinated before the flu season begins. Number 2, wash your hands. Stop the spread of germs and protect yourself with frequent hand washing with soap or alcohol-based hand sanitizer. And third, if you are sick, stay home. Should you become ill with flu-like symptoms of fever, sore throat, cough, limit your contact with others. Schedule an appointment as soon as possible with LMU Medical Clinic or your healthcare provider. There are antivirals that may be indicated if started within 48 hours of symptoms. Stay home until you are fever-free for 24 hours without over-the-counter medications like Motrin or Tylenol. I'm Dr. Shields, and this has been a brief announcement about keeping LMU and you healthy during the upcoming flu season.
What do we know about learning? It takes place beyond the pages of a book. We learn by exploring, by trying new things, by connecting, by sharing. We learn by taking chances and dreaming big. At Lincoln Memorial University, learning is beyond the books. It's everywhere.
Guess what? I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. You see that truck? Oh, jeez. It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
Fantastic.
So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah. Bro?
Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot top, soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
It was good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month.
That's a lot.
Isn't that a lot? Go visit SaveTheFood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Welcome back. Tuesday night saw a one-stop return to non-conference action for the Lincoln Memorial women's basketball team. And while it was not pretty at times, the Lady Railsplitters picked up their 3rd straight win thanks to a fearsome second-half showing, knocking off once rivals Tennessee Wesleyan by the score of 84-60. As the two schools were once annual foes while LMU was a part of the NAIA, Tuesday marked just the second time since 1990 that they locked horns with each other, the turn of that decade introducing the Lady Rail Splitters to the NCAA Division II ranks. The first occurrence was last February in Harrogate, where LMU won handily 100-67. And while the margin was not quite that large on Tuesday, Lincoln Memorial overcame poor first-half shooting to pull away from the Bulldogs over the final 20 minutes. After 2 quarters of play, LMU stood with a 37-33 lead, even though they held Tennessee Wesleyan to just 30% shooting. The reason for the slim point differential was that the Lady Rail Splitters only shot 36% themselves. Although the tide turned in half number 2, LMU outscoring TWU 47-27 in the last 2 frames, hitting a near 41% clip from the field for the entire contest. It was certainly a night to remember for senior Emily Griffith, the Oliver Springs native resetting a personal best with 22 points while also posting a new career high in rebounds with a team high of 9, part of LMU's 46-33 advantage on the boards. The Lady Rail Splitters were also boosted by the play of junior Sydney Duggins, reaching 18 points on 6 rebounds. Only one other LMU player was able to hit double digits in the scoring department, that being freshman Lindsey Profit with 13, although the defense was the key to Lincoln Memorial's encouraging second half, forcing the Bulldogs into 24 total turnovers that led the way to 32 points in the other direction, while dominating inside the painted area for a 34-12 cushion. Gaining their 3rd consecutive W and improving to 5-3 overall, LMU may have peaked at the right time in the middle of the school's winter break, awaiting a huge 2:00 p.m. battle with Wingate back at home and back inside of conference play on Saturday afternoon. The Bulldogs will face the Lady Rail Splitters in the midst of a 5-game winning streak of their own, while being slotted at number 20 across the national rankings, meaning it's Lincoln Memorial's chance to grab an early signature win this season, moving from one Bulldog squad to another in the final game before the Christmas holiday. And as the LMU women's basketball team collected a steady win against Tennessee Wesleyan on Tuesday, this Wednesday night marks a very important date for the Rail Splitter men's hoops team, continuing their South Atlantic Conference trek by facing the Anderson Trojans in South Carolina, tipping off at 7:30 p.m. Lincoln Memorial, victors of 4 straight games before last Saturday's road trip to Queens, were overpowered in their defeat at the hands of the Royals in their last time out, the 16th-ranked defending Southeast Regional champions, handing LMU their most lopsided loss in 10 years by a 90-62 decision. The Rail Splitters have simply not been the same team on the road thus far in 2018 through 19, contrasting their 99-point average in Harrogate with only a 73-point clip away from home, as all 3 of LMU's losses have come in road venues. That may spell calamity for Lincoln Memorial on Wednesday in Anderson, as the Trojans have been flawless in their backyard through 4 meetings, most recently gaining a 79-65 W over Johnson C. Smith in non-conference territory. In fact, the overall records between Anderson and LMU are exact parallels of one another, both at 5-3 and both having won 4 of their last 5 games, albeit that one loss for the Rail Splitters being their most recent. The only loss over that span for the Trojans was almost a shocker, Anderson suffering a 79-77 heartbreaker in Charlotte against Queens, the same club that just derailed Lincoln Memorial to snap their 36-game SAC regular season winning streak. Only ranking 9th in the league in terms of total offense, the Trojans have been dynamite on the defensive end, ranking 1st in the conference in points against average at only 70, meaning that the Splitters must put Saturday's blowout behind them for what could be an equally difficult bout given the location. Despite Anderson's success at home this year, the Blue and Gray have beaten the Trojans in each of their last 5 trips there, including a 30-point throttling in the Palmetto State a year ago, holding a 13-7 all-time advantage in the series, winners of 11 in a row dating back to January of 2014. Hoping that their confidence doesn't waver in a hostile environment after their biggest loss in a decade, head coach Josh Sturtz and LMU aim to bounce back in the Abney Athletic Center, and you can find out how Lincoln Memorial performs with their backs against the wall by visiting www.lmurailsplitters.com. And only 2 dates into the 2018 through 19 schedule, it seems that Lincoln Memorial has some big things in store for the 2nd season of indoor track and field across the South Atlantic Conference, as sophomore Lady Rail Splitter sprinter Jerica Covington was heralded as the AstroTurf SAC Athlete of the Week following an impressive performance at the previous weekend's GVSU Holiday Open. Announced on Tuesday by league officials, Covington, a native of Lexington, South Carolina, becomes the first LMU athlete to receive this honor since Karen Robinson did so last last January. Her eye-popping run-through in Allendale, Michigan last Friday, the catalyst for this individual accolade. At the Kelly Family Sports Center on the campus of Grand Valley State University, making just her second appearance of the young season, Covington came less than a second away from breaking the program record in the 400-meter race, placing 10th out of 34 competitors with a time of exactly 1 minute. Specifically, just 0.17 seconds away from becoming the new record holder, a feat that fellow sophomore Anna Verdu-Cobo currently has, who also raced alongside Covington in that same 400-meter event on Friday. The SAC Athlete of the Week is already in command of 4 different records at the university, nearly coming away with her 5th up north. Holding the fastest times in school history across the indoor 600-meter, indoor 200-meter, outdoor 200-meter, and outdoor 400-meter events, Covington came within the blink of an eye of setting another record, awarded with the top prize in the conference for the final date of the calendar year. Both LMU's men's and women's track and field squads will have roughly a full month off before the second half of their schedule commences in January, heading to Johnson City, Tennessee on the weekend of the 11th for the ETSU Invitational. And as it turns out, Tuesday was a banner afternoon for the university in terms of solo awards and accomplishments, with senior Lady Rail Splitter volleyball player Erica Whitaker ending her illustrious career with an unbelievable repeat as the 2018 Google Cloud NCAA Division II Academic All-American of the Year, unveiled by College of Sports Information Directors of America, or COSIDA. In a truly outstanding achievement for the Kingston Springs product, Whitaker receives this prestigious award for the second year in a row, becoming the first volleyball student athlete to do so since Sarah Pavin of the University of Nebraska in 2006 and 2007. Only the third volleyball player to be named the Academic All-American of the Year at the NCAA Division II ranks in consecutive years, the first since the turn of the century. Whitaker led the COSIDA Academic All-American first team thanks to a perfect 4.0 cumulative grade point average in the demanding field of a biology and pre-med major. Named to the Academic All-District Volleyball team for the second time in a row, while also winning her second SAC Elite 20 award in 3 years for sporting the highest GPA among teams that advanced to the conference tournament semifinals, the senior's achievements in the classroom were just as outstanding as her time on the volleyball court. Completing undoubtedly the greatest individual career at her position of libero in the history of Lincoln Memorial women's volleyball, Whitaker ends her phenomenal 4-year stint as the program's all-time leader in total digs with 2,345. Also first in digs per set with 5.57 and ranking first in service attempts at 1,831. In addition to that, she also ranks 4th in team history in aces with 165, responsible for the 2 highest single-season dig outputs ever for Lincoln Memorial in her upperclassmen years. What was a then school record 678 digs in one season in 2017 by the Redhead was blown out of the water this past campaign, resetting that record at 736, her 6.81 digs per set, ranking 4th in the entire country. As the recipient of the 5 highest single-game dig outputs in school history, the most being a 51 dig performance against Mars Hill in 2017, along with a pair of 47 dig performances, Whitaker is just the 8th student-athlete in the SAC across any sport to land National Academic All-American of the Year, and the only one to do it twice, becoming the 3rd volleyball player to do so in the league, and the first since Wingate's Rebecca Brezovich did so in 2006. For more information on Erica Whitaker's incredible 2-time Division II Academic All-American status, you can head over to LMURailsplitters.com. And nearly 1 week after the Lincoln Memorial baseball schedule for the spring of 2019 was uncovered by 2-time defending SAC tournament champion head coach Jeff Sixai, the same has now been revealed by head coach Richie Richardson for the LMU softball program, kicking off a 48-game slate on February 9th. Coach Richardson's debut year at the university a year ago was one of many ups and downs, some inconsistency plaguing the Lady Rail Splitters en route to a 24-22 record and a 7-13 South Atlantic Conference stretch, missing out on a postseason appearance. With a loaded recruiting class on deck for Richardson's second go-around, LMU's softball schedule features a large contrast to the baseball team, seeing 32 of their 48 matchups taking place inside the Valley of Sports. Debuting an all-turf facility for the 2019 campaign, that field will be put to the test early and often once the season begins in the second week of the second month of the year, as 16 of the first 18 games will be in Harrogate, a major disparity from 2018 in which only 18 games total were held at home. Opening the door to the season with a 4-game weekend against Walsh and Maryville twice each, Lincoln Memorial enters a lengthy and daunting non-conference stretch that features the likes of Lee University, Mercyhurst, Ohio Dominican, Milligan College, Young Harris, Trevecca Nazarene, UVA Wise, Lees McRae, King, North Greenville, Columbus State, and Bloomsburg before SAC play officially begins on March the 16th against Wingate at home. With 10 two-part league outings that closes with a doubleheader at Catawba in Salisbury, North Carolina, the Lady Railsplitters hope to return to that same venue for the SAC tournament to be held on April the 26th. As always, you can check out LMURailsplitters.com for further details on the Lincoln Memorial softball schedule that is just under 2 months away from starting. And that is all for sports in the middle of the week, but stay tuned as more LMU Community TV news is on the way right after this.
What do we know about learning? It takes place beyond the pages of a book. We learn by exploring, by trying new things, by connecting, by sharing. We learn by taking chances and dreaming big. At Lincoln Memorial University, learning is beyond the books. It's everywhere.
Guess what? I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. You see that truck? Oh, jeez. It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
Fantastic. So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah. For real?
Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot top, soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
Great. It was good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month.
That's a lot.
Isn't that a lot? Go visit savethefood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Thanks for watching LMU Community TV News. I'm Alison Barnett, and have a great evening.